You have been wondering whether you missed your chance, whether the delay means no, whether the dream that keeps returning to you is only something you made up to survive disappointment. Dear heart, you have tried to be practical. You have told yourself not to hope too much. You have lowered your expectations, kept your voice measured, acted as though it does not matter deeply. But inside, there is still that quiet ache, that longing you cannot quite dismiss. That sense that something in you is reaching toward a life you have not yet touched. Beloved, I know the tiredness that comes from waiting. Not only waiting for something to happen, but waiting while wondering if your own desire can still be believed. You have asked, was I foolish to care this much? You have thought, maybe this is for other people, not for me. You have feared that your hope might only set you up for another loss. Precious one, come closer to this truth. What is unfolding in you is not accidental. The pull you keep feeling toward a deeper life, a truer life, a more alive way of being did not rise in you for no reason. I am not speaking of every passing wish. I am speaking of the thing that stays, the thing that returns after distraction fades, the thing that still whispers after disappointment, after delay, after practical voices have all had their turn. My child, that quiet persistence matters. There are desires that only agitate, and there are desires that reveal design. You have been learning the difference. The longing that comes from vanity demands applause. The longing that comes from fear demands certainty. But the longing I placed in you keeps drawing you toward honesty, toward growth, toward meaning, toward a life that would require your real self to come forward. That is why it has not left you. Loved one, what is meant for you is not always quick. Sometimes it arrives through seasons that feel confusing, ordinary, even discouraging. Sometimes it takes shape while you think nothing is moving. Sometimes what I am forming in your life is also forming you for it, and that part is easy to overlook. You have measured delay as if it were absence. You have looked at unfinished chapters and assumed the story was drifting. But much of what matters most develops quietly. A seed under dark soil does not look impressive. It looks buried. It looks still. It looks like nothing to the impatient eye. Yet hidden growth is still growth. Dear heart, there has been hidden growth in you. Your discernment is not what it was. Your values have sharpened. Your dependence on appearances has weakened. You are less easily seduced by what sparkles but cannot sustain you. This has not happened by accident. It has happened through the very waiting you were tempted to despise. Beloved, you thought you were only being delayed. Sometimes you were being deepened. You thought you were being overlooked. Sometimes you were being protected from stepping too soon into places that would have matched your hunger, but not your health. You thought the closed way meant you were unworthy. Sometimes it simply meant that what was ahead needed a stronger version of you than the one who first asked for it. Precious one, this is important. What is intended for your life will not ask you to become false. It may ask for courage. It may ask for patience. It may ask for honesty that costs you comfort. But it will not require that you abandon your soul to obtain it. What truly belongs with your life will have room for your integrity. It will not thrive on your self-betrayal. It will not depend on the shrinking of your spirit. Dear one, I know the ache of watching others seem to move ahead while your own path feels unresolved. Comparison has whispered to you. It has said, you are late. It has said, you should have figured this out by now. It has said, if it were real, it would have happened already. Do not build your understanding on that voice. Comparison is a poor guide. It cannot see what I am doing inside you. It cannot measure the wisdom you have gained through disappointment. It cannot understand why some lives ripen slowly. Sweet soul, some things are meant to come to you only after your heart can carry them well. Not because I enjoy withholding, not because I delight in suspense, but because gifts arriving before readiness can become burdens, and answers arriving before grounding can become distractions. I care not only about what reaches you, I care about what it does in you when it does. My child, What is meant to happen with you is not simply an event. It is a becoming. It is not only a door opening somewhere ahead. It is also the strengthening of your inner frame so that when the door opens, you do not walk through it still begging old fears to define you. This is one reason your path has felt slower than you wanted. You have not only been moving towards something, you have been moving away from old versions of yourself. Away from the self that settled too quickly. Away from the self that confused urgency with guidance. Away from the self that thought being chosen mattered more than being aligned. Beloved, that old self was doing the best it could. Do not despise who you were, but do notice how much has changed. You pause more now. You question appearances. You are less impressed by what lacks depth. You have started to care not just whether something opens, but whether it is right, whether it is healthy, whether it can hold the life you were made to live. This is maturity. This is preparation. This is part of the answer. Dear heart, there were times you wanted me to give you the whole picture. You wanted a map, a date, a guarantee, some clean proof that your longing was not misplaced. Instead, you were given fragments, a nudge, a closed way, a quiet yes to one thing and silence about another. That unsettled you. You thought certainty would be kinder. But certainty too early can keep a person shallow. It can keep them from listening deeply. It can keep them from becoming teachable. You have become teachable, and that gentleness in you will matter more than you know. Loved one, if you are wondering whether this hope is only fantasy, look at its fruit. Does it pull you toward honesty or performance? Does it deepen your life or inflate your ego? Does it call forth courage, patience, humility, care, or does it only ask to be admired? The things I place in you carry a certain texture. They may stretch you, but they do not hollow you out. They may humble you, but they do not degrade you. They may remain unfinished for a time, but they continue to invite you into fuller life. Precious one, what is intended for you will often feel less like frantic grasping and more like deep recognition. Even before it fully arrives, something in you will know this fits. This asks me to be true. This does not require my pretending. That does not mean it will be effortless, but it will not feel like constant inner violation. It will have the kind of rightness that lets your soul stand up straighter. My dear one, you have had false starts before. You have chased things that glittered. You have called certain paths destiny when they were only distractions dressed in urgency. And yes, those detours hurt, but they were not wasted. They taught you the taste of what is empty. They sharpened your discernment. They showed you how easily need can disguise itself as calling. Now you are learning to tell the difference. This too is part of what is unfolding. Beloved, do not think that because the road has been uneven, the ending will be random. I am not careless with your life. I have not misplaced the threads of it. Even now, things that once looked unrelated, broken, or mistimed are being woven together in ways you cannot yet fully see. A bridge is not built from one piece. It is formed through supports you often barely notice while standing on the near side, wondering how you will ever cross. So much of your life has felt like the near side, waiting, wondering, looking at distance. Yet supports have been going in beneath the surface. Skills, clarity, boundaries, humility, tenderness, endurance without self-erasure. These are not side notes. These are load-bearing things. Sweet soul, another part of what is meant for you is this peace with your own timing. Not passive resignation, not pretending you do not still desire what you desire, but a steadier heart that is no longer constantly accusing itself for not being there yet. Self-accusation has drained you. It has made waiting twice as hard. The delay itself was enough, but then you added harshness, comparison, and private shame. You do not need that extra weight anymore. Be gentler with the life that is still unfolding. My child, you are not behind in the way fear says. You are in process. You are in formation. You are becoming someone who can hold what once would have overwhelmed you. This is not an excuse. It is a reframe rooted in truth. There is a future that fits your life better than the hurried one you once begged for. And when it comes, you will understand why some things had to fall away first. Dear heart, there may still be more waiting. I will not flatter you with false immediacy. There may still be days that feel ordinary, moments when you wonder if anything has changed, hours when the silence feels almost rude. But underneath that silence, life is moving. Underneath what looks still, roots are stretching. Underneath what feels delayed, alignment is taking place. Do not confuse hidden with absent. Loved one, you are allowed to be tired of waiting without giving up on what is true. You are allowed to feel disappointment without deciding everything is pointless. You are allowed to grieve what has not yet come and still remain open. This is the strong tenderness I am growing in you. Not numbness, not denial, but a heart that can ache honestly without collapsing into despair. Precious one, if something is meant to unfold with your life, it will draw you not only toward desire but toward wholeness. Watch for that. The right path may challenge you, but it will also clarify you. The right connection may stretch you, but it will not make you smaller. The right work may tire you, but it will not keep draining the very life it was meant to express. This kind of discernment will serve you well. My dear one, sometimes you ask, will I miss it? That question has haunted you. You fear one wrong move, one tired season, one delayed response, and everything good will pass you by. No, dear one. What truly belongs with your life is not so fragile that one imperfect day can destroy it. You may wander. You may hesitate. You may need to begin again. Still, I know how to guide a sincere heart. Still, I know how to bring you back to what matters. Still, I know how to work with your humanity. Beloved, release the fantasy that your future depends on flawless performance. It does not. Your life is not a narrow test with one trick answer. There is grace in the shaping. There is room for learning. There is room for repair. There is room for slower steps than you once imagined. That should ease you. It should help you stop gripping so tightly at every possibility. Sweet soul, what is intended for you will ask for participation, yes, but not panic. It will call for faithfulness, yes, but not frantic striving. It will involve courage, yes, but not the constant terror that all goodness depends on your perfection. This is how you will recognize healthier unfolding. It invites. It steadies. It deepens. It does not keep driving you with fear of missing out. My child, already, there are signs. You are less willing to force what does not fit. You recover faster from disappointments that once would have unraveled you for weeks. You can sense when a path looks promising but carries the old taste of self-betrayal. You are learning to value peace as much as progress. This is wisdom growing. And wisdom is one of the greatest gifts I can place in your hands before the next chapter opens. Dear heart, one day you will look back on this season with more tenderness than you feel right now. You will see that what felt like emptiness was often preparation. What felt like delay was often protection. What felt like silence was often deeper work than visible movement could have provided. You do not have to force that understanding tonight. Just leave room for it. Loved one, the life before you is not being built from your fear. It is being shaped through patience, truth, and quiet fidelity. Keep staying close to what is honest. Keep moving away from what makes you false. Keep honoring the desires that deepen your soul instead of merely distracting it. These are good signs. These are safe signs. These are part of the path itself. Precious one, rest from the thought that you must chase what belongs to you. There are moments for effort. There are moments for initiative. But there is also a holy kind of readiness that does not scramble. That kind of readiness is growing in you now. It waits awake. It pays attention. It stays available without becoming frantic. And when the time comes, it responds with a clear heart. Beloved, for now take comfort in this. Your longing has not been ignored. Your path has not been forgotten. Your becoming is not a side project. What is forming with your life is being handled with more care than you can presently measure. You do not need to rush the dawn for morning to come. The sky brightens before the world fully notices. So it is with you. Something is already changing. Something is already aligning. Something is already nearing its hour. My dear one, stay gentle with yourself while it comes into view. Do not punish the present for not being the future yet. Do not despise smallness. Do not assume that hidden seasons are empty ones. I am with you in this ripening. And as the evening quiet settles, as your thoughts begin to unclench a little, rest beside this promise. What belongs with your life will not need you to become someone else to meet it. I remain here, steady and near, while what is true continues to unfold. Amen. Beloved family, we are grateful to continue sharing God's Word with you. This work requires dedication, prayer, and consistency. If you feel led to support this ministry, the link is available in the description and in the comment box below. Thank you for being part of this journey.